Welcome back to the Project Management Fundamental course. In this module, we will continue with looking at project resource management, which is also another area of the project management knowledge areas. So what is project resource management? So it's an area of project management, a knowledge area that includes processes that enables you to not only manage the resources that you have, but to be able to identify and also gather them or acquire them for the successful completion of the project. In other words, you want to be able to find the right set of people and the right set of materials and everything that you need to be able to accomplish the project. So that means you should keep in mind as a project manager that it is very important to understand the difference between skills and competencies which are required to manage resources. So if you look at what resource management, I mean, sometimes it's also referred to as human resource management. You're looking at what resources do I need to execute my project? How many of these resources do I need? And how do I then make a schedule to ensure that I allocate these resources in the right way to meet the deadline or the project timing or the project schedule? So which simply means you have to understand the activities of your project. You need to understand what are the requirements in terms of resources you need to meet or achieve or execute those activities. And then you plan or apply those resources and you see and check whether it's balanced or if you have issues or some people are over allocated or you have less materials. Depending on it, you need to go back and redo the resource allocation again. And once you keep doing that, you can continue managing the resources while the project is being executed. So sometimes you do this with the help of your project management office if you work in an organization that also has this type of office, and they can help out in all this type of things. So when you look at the importance of resource planning, it helps in maximizing budget spending, and it can also help in improving or enhancing the report and forecast. In other words, you can foresee where you need people and where you are short of people and can plan for that. And also it has to do with money because people need to be paid for the job they do. Also materials and things that you need to buy needs money. And that is why it's important to plan for resources. And of course, like we said, you create the resource plan by knowing the list of resources, which activities they need to go to, and how many of the resources and how it maps to the schedule. And if you don't do resource planning, then basically you run into project not finished on time and you exceed the budget and you might not meet your end goal. And there are also many ways of doing resource allocation, which you can learn separately by first forecasting, and if not enough, you can do resource leveling by distributing and seeing what happens, and reallocation as well. So in that sense, for project managers, they need to, do this in order to also help with the way the organization is structured, such that within a project, you know on which level, both on strategic, tactical, and operational, and any other level, how teams are distributed within the organization, and who is managing which projects, and which teams belong to which manager, and which task needs to be done by which team members. All that is what you do within the project resource management. And there are many ways to look at that, but this helps you in really making sure you can make decision and manage the project on new projects with ongoing projects and how you reallocate the team to ensure that if you have an overload of people or work, you can rebalance or level. And that means you have to follow a number of the mentioned processes we just talked about, like planning the resource management process, estimating the activity resource, acquire the resource itself, develop the team that you need for your project using that you need to execute your project, and then manage the team in such a way that you use them properly, and then be able to control the resources in the right way. And all this also requires your different inputs and outputs with some tools and techniques that are needed to manage each one of them. So basically, this is what you do with resource management. And it's also a full topic on its own to break it down if you want to really go deep down into all this. But this is a good knowledge or idea of what you do with this. And there are many ways to do that if you dig deeper into that. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next video.